The cultivating marathon continues. We are cultivating, irrigating, and taking care of cows today on American Beef Ranch. Let's get to work. It may not be obvious, but we got to put the tanks back on the tractor. And it's funny how the things work in farming. You're like, oh, I got to get this done right now. But then other things get in the way, and like you just are not able to get all the stuff done. So that's kind of what happened with this. This went back to the owners of the tractor. They were going to use it, but they weren't able to use it. And he's like, you better just come get it and finish what you need to finish. So I already stripped all this stuff off, and now we got to put it all back on. I do have one tank on already. I got to adjust that one a little bit, and then we got to get this tank on and plumb it, wire it, fill it up, and get to the field and get cultivating. So all right, we are mounted up, we are plumbed up, we are hydraulic plugged in, we are wired up, we are ready to fill up and head to the field. So I loaded the tractor, and then I've made the executive decision because I have a pivot that's going to finish here in just a little bit. It's going to take me longer to go out there and empty this load than it is to finish that pivot. I don't want that pivot to sit there and water on the pivot stop. And it's important that we change water on time. So I'm just going to, I got a couple things I need to do. One of these tubes, this guy right here, is not putting out the liquid, so we got to check the check valve in the orifice. And then I'm going to go move another pivot, this one right here that we worked on the sprinklers, and we've got the sprinklers right now, which is A plus. But so on every line there is a check valve. This is the check valve right here. It basically lets fluid only flow one way. And then inside this little cap, we have what's called an orifice. So this thing right here. And those orifices right there, that little hole, is what helps us meter the liquid fertilizer at the right rate. So that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and open up our, oh yeah, yep, that's the problem. So it's plugged above the check valve. All the stuff in there, we are using dissolved minerals, so things do get in there. Looks a lot better now. Check valve feels good, so we can put this guy back together. Oh my goodness. Phone always rings. Orifice goes right back in there. Make sure it's clean. Right, just like that. Now that we got our liquid kit all in order, I'm gonna walk back to the work pickup. I'm gonna jump in it, or actually no, first I'm gonna walk out to this pivot point, start this pivot. I actually will jump up there and show you the sprinklers we decided to go with. And I've got to turn on a power box too, but get that pivot moving, figure out how long I have until this pivot's done. I probably have 15 minutes. So by the time I get that pivot done, this pivot will be ready to switch. We'll switch water, then we'll head to the field, and we won't have any distractions until probably later this afternoon after 5 o'clock. So that'll give us a good 6 or 7 hours of cultivating, which is about how much I need to get done today. This is a pivot. This is my problem pivot. And the reason it's a problem is because we had dry strips, because the original sprinkler package was never set up right. So we've made some changes to make this feel better. And I will say, even though we didn't have the sprinkler nozzle package right the first time, 2 times we watered with this pivot, with the new sprinklers, it already looks better in the dry strips. The dry strips are less dry. Now they have a long way to go, but they are a lot less dry. So we are making improvement already. So I'll show you what we went with. So this is the Comet Precision Twister. Made in Austria. Obviously this is the first tower and we have them on top. Once we got the spacing and all that stuff figured out, which I will get in a technical video to you guys exactly what went on. We want comments on this, or we want peaks up here on top on this first tower to make sure that the overlap and stuff is correct with the number of nozzles. And then we have Comet precision twisters on drops. Now, this pivot was a bear, and now that we've got the sprinkler package right and new sprinklers, the two problems we had, which was the stripping because the package was never properly set up properly, and the fact that those sprinklers were to the end of their life cycle. Not that they were worn out, but they were getting to the end of their life cycle. This was their 5th year of operation, and that's 5 to 7 years you're supposed to replace pivot sprinklers. We had some major dry strips, and I'm telling you, up here standing, those dry strips are already better. There is a lot more green corn instead of dried up corn in those spots. It's not perfect yet, but I think we're definitely gonna make a big impact. So now that this pivot is taken care of and turned on, I'm gonna start it because I wanna move it down here, because the other night it didn't shut off when I shut it off. The water shut off, but the pivot kept moving. So I'm gonna move it over here to where it's supposed to start, and then I'll stop it. And then I gotta go switch water on these other pivots. We are out here cultivating now. Corn looks pretty good in this field. This is the lease farm. This was in pasture for over 20 years. So a lot of potential. A couple of things I noticed. Because it was in pasture so long, there's still a lot of sod, a lot of roots that need to be broke up. And so this cultivation pass was absolutely necessary. We have a bunch of grass and a bunch of weeds starting to grow in between the rows. It's a lot more suppressed from on the other side, just because this was super dry. But at this point, we are looking pretty good. I'm really happy with how the corn looks. So we're just gonna keep on trucking, keep cultivating this corn. And I guess we'll get a little bit farther along. Yeah, the day got derailed. Well, cultivating went good for the cultivating that we did. I loaded up, I went back out there for a little bit, and then what I had happen is my wire broke off this little blade. I'm like, no problem, I'll run home and I'll grab another one of those blades, put it on the end of the wire, and keep going. I didn't have one. My grandpa didn't have one. My stepbrother didn't have one. My neighbor didn't have one. My stepdad didn't have one. Nobody had the little... If you guys haven't seen their little 12-volt automotive blade things. So I had to run and get one. It's now 8 o'clock. I am in the process of cooking burgers on the grill. Check those out. And so we're going to have to continue this tomorrow. And I've got some cool videos coming for you guys. Also, if you are looking for fertilizer solutions and not just people that are going to continue to string you along and never give you answers to questions you want to know about soil health and crop health, make sure you check out our company, ABR Agriculture. You can access that through our website, abfranch.com. Link is in the description. If you guys like if you guys like videos that talk about soil health, regenerative ag, grass-fed and finished beef, and many other things, consider following along. Thank you. God bless. Have a wonderful day. And we'll see you next time on American Beef Ranch. Horse.